These pictures are a documentary of our 2-night, 3-day backpacking trip in Shenandoah National Park, the South District. We started out at Browns Gap and headed up Madison Fire Road to the overlook of RockyTop. This was Regina's first backpacking trip and was a shakedown trip for a through hike of the AT in Shenandoah National Park later that summer. The Big Run area is a wild, sheer-walled canyon of spectacular rock formation and talus slopes that offers extraordinary impression of isolation. It is a sheer-walled canyon abruptly closed the northern end by the rock walls designated as the portal. It is for the most part rugged but extremely scenic and isolated and offering outstanding views for the Shenandoah Valley, especially in the winter months. RockyTop extends along the crest of the ridge, which forms the sheer southwest wall of Big Run Canyon. It takes its name for its outstanding feature, RockyTop. The rock formations along RockyTop can be an 1/8 inch in diameter and are now expected to be 500 million years old. As we continued along the ridgeline, we went through a pine forest which was ravaged by fire several years ago, and we were happy to see the tree line was growing back in. We spent the next several miles descending RockyTop down to the Big Run portal, and there were glorious views of the valley below all along this descent. We crossed Big Run portal and was glad to have some time in the shade and by the water. We set up camp and had dinner and were in bed early. Fortunately, our campsite was along this beautiful running streamline, and we were able to rest our feet after a long day of hiking in cool, refreshing water. It was a wonderful, relaxing evening. The total mileage of the day was 8.2 miles and 1,063 feet. Joy got an F in terms of planning a good, appropriate hike for Regina, but Regina was a trooper and hung in there till the end. The next morning, we woke up to glorious sunshine and quickly packed up camp and started along Big Run portal, where there were several stream crossings across beautiful pools. Regina was tired from the trek, so she decided to return to the car at Browns Gap and was going to meet Joy at Loft Mountain. Joy continued on to approach the Big Run loop and onto Loft Mountain Campground along the AT. Joy and Regina enjoyed a relaxing evening at camp and enjoyed a glorious sunset on Loft Mountain, which we then had a fire until we crawled into our hammocks for a good night rest. The total mileage for Joy that day was 8.5 miles and 2,274 feet of elevation. The morning of day 3, we awoke again to glorious sunshine, and Regina slept in while Joy hiked up to the Fraser Discovery Trail and enjoyed several beautiful mountaintop views. The total mileage back to Loft Mountain Campground was 4.3 miles and 696 feet of elevation gain. We packed up the car and headed home after a glorious couple of days in Shenandoah National Park in June. This was difficult terrain, and Regina was definitely a trooper on her first backpacking trip, but is going to wait a little while before tackling the Appalachian Trail through Shenandoah National Park. The total mileage of the trip for Joy was 21 miles, and the total elevation was 4,033 feet.
Here we go.